Yeah, that's why you should always check your inputs before you go live. Anyways, so yesterday's stream was very noisy. Might cut it together. So I will recap what happened as we get there. But let's start with this guy. So we wanted to fix the layout of this on mobile and on the different screen sizes. And we already fixed this first guy, and we were about to fix this guy. So because this is how it's supposed to look on desktop, right? This layout right here looks good on mobile, and by looks good I mean ish. I'm not the best designer. This is just this is just for real apps. You want to have a real designer making it very pretty. This is just me freestyling shit. And this is the layout if the sidebar appears. So, and one of the techniques that we're using is called container queries. So if you go here, container queries, they basically allow you to designate a tag, a parent tag, as a container, and then you can do your queries based on the size of this tag. And why is that useful here? Well, because this sidebar appears, right? So if you make this smaller, right? So here we have more space than on a little wider screen. So it's more useful. And you can, we already implemented behavior yesterday in this alert. So if we make this small, this alert looks good on small screens. Then my PC's dying, probably because of the live stream. Yeah. Now it looks like it's supposed to on desktop, right? But now the sidebar appears, and the space would be too narrow again if the button was still here, right? So you can't use relative queries. You need to do it relative to an outside container. And then when it gets bigger again, boom, it appears on the right side again. So let me find the exact point where here. And now it's not really a trick, right? But sometimes you just want to have all different screen sizes in like different browser windows, and then you can fix it one by one. Cool. So the goal is to make this users look good, and it should move over here. That was the last thing where we picked up. Current plan, users, and this is the top one. So this is the top one. Yeah. Okay. So let's see here. We already put this on the right width, depending on the container. That's good. And just for curiosity's sake, the container query is put here on the field set, and for the alert, I just wrapped another div around that. Description detail. So here we have a flex call, so we can say at LG form flex row. Yeah, that fixes it. And then it already looks good, right? Because the button's supposed to be there. So this seems to be already fixed. Nice. So let's go into the next one, which is the projected total. Right now, the projected total is on the other side. So let's just say at LG form, not grid, justify start, I think, is it? Yep. So we got that fixed. And then the last guy is the invoices, next billing date. So here, we also want to do LG form flex row. Wait. At LG slash form. Because I redid this because Cursor was sneakingly adding stuff. And that's it already. Let's try this out. So this is mobile, and it looks good. My computer is dying again. And then we go to a little bigger screen width. It all arranges nicely. And then we go to even bigger screen width. The upper guy also adjusts nicely. So it switches on XL. Do we want to also switch later? Because this, oh wait, there's a managed plan that is coming in that shouldn't be there. This is for the user, no, for the current plan. LG form. Oh, goodbye. Nice, okay. So the only thing is that he has very little space, and I wonder if with different languages it would look bad. So what if instead of at LG for all of these, let's mark all the LG forms, and let's say XL. So does this still look good? I guess. And then we increase it. Yeah, that's a little better. And then now the sidebar comes, so we change the arrangement again. And then as we have more space, we make it nice again. Yeah, I love this. This is really good. Yesterday it took me forever to get this done, but that's usually how it is, right? So your brain is always only good in certain times of the day. And to be honest, my brain is always the best in the morning. I write my best code and find solutions quickest in the morning, which is why I always say that you should do code review in the morning, because code review is very important. And yeah, so does this look good? I think so. I think so. Wait, they look like they have different height, right? Because probably this button is adding shit. So let's inspect this and figure this out, right? I'm not hallucinating. These have a higher. So this guy has a height of 20, and this guy has a height of 23. So we should give the projected total on the form screen a height of 23 by 4 is 8, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that looks now more uniform. And what is this guy's height? He has a height of 40. So should they all get a height of 40? Maybe. Because this looks bigger than the others, right? I mean, you can barely tell. 23, 23. But because of the 2 rows here, we have a height of 40. But that is, I think, because of the spacing. So flex, this just block. Yeah, there's nothing in between. Do we fix that? Let's just see how it looks. So where do we have the H8? So if this is H10 instead, and then we need the same here somewhere. Maybe this guy, so around the users. This guy would be that. So add XL form H10. Oof, no. That is wrong. What about you? No. No, something else happened. Oh, I commented out the wrong thing. Yeah, and then we need to add it on the last one too. Yeah, I think that looks even better. Now it's all the same. Cool. Yeah, sometimes you have to do this stuff manually. Obviously, I know Shetzian, who's amazing with his abstractions. This is now all like done by hand, and if you add a row, you have to fix it for that row again. Yeah, I couldn't find a good abstraction. I guess here there's a bunch of stuff that is the same, right? So maybe let's find that out. So let's go here into the card. Where do we distance? Yeah, we grab from card. So like this, and we can also close these. Oh, I already closed them. Let me just close a bunch of stuff here. I don't know what this all is. Oh, the stripe stuff. Yeah, that's where we're gonna pick up soon. AI Studio, we go in here, TSX. What are the shared classes by each of the outer divs coming after the respective comment about the section? I want to abstract this tag away and then only supply classes as they're needed. Using the CN helper. Is it imported in this page? It's not, so let me shed CN utils, or is it like utils? Lib, I think this guy. TS. So let's see if we can clean this up just a tiny bit. And then there was more stuff that we discovered yesterday. For example, we don't know the behavior on the for the class that are present in every single one are flex. So the thing that we also found out is we need to handle enterprise case. Flex call. Create a designated tag. Maybe description list row. Oh. And also reply with the full code so that I can copy paste, leave everything else the same. And then there's also a technique that I showed yesterday, which was I did a commit, a VIP commit. I'm going to do the same now again because you can never trust these LLMs not to fuck with shit. So I'm going to do git commit dash amend dash no verify. So we have a little VIP commit, and then as we paste this stuff in here, it's going to highlight all the changes that the LLM. Oh, I didn't add all. So one more time. Nice. So now if this changed, what is going on? Like, holy moly. Okay. Let me just add it maybe at the top here. So, I mean, we can also put it into this one-off description list. Export function description list row, class name. Nice. And the classes that they all have are these. So, boom, like this. Nice. And now we can implement the description list row here. And now we can start replacing them. So the first one is this guy. And we need to close it here. And then the next one is after the separator here. So description list row, and we fix it. And then we go down. Projected total. And fix that here. And lastly, the next billing date. Do this close the description list row. Nice, nice. We can remove this. Now it looks good. Okay. So if we go into inspect, so this already looks good. It arranged it correctly. Nice. I don't care about the same height here because reasons. Okay, cool. So the one thing that we mentioned yesterday was we didn't take care about the enterprise plan. So we need to add a test for that. So what do we want to happen on enterprise, right? We don't know how many users you can have on enterprise probably, because yeah, we don't know, like on enterprise plan, the pricing is custom, right? So we don't know the projected total. I don't know if we know the next billing date. So let's just ask ChatGPT here. So if you give a customer on Stripe a custom plan, what information about that plan is available on the via the webhooks? Can you also show things like what they pay per month? Can you show the next billing date? We might need to handle that later because yeah, we don't like it's completely custom pricing, right? And this information doesn't come from Stripe. So we receive the total price. And you've received the next billing date. So we can show the total, but we cannot show how many users they have paid for, I think. Unless it's somehow possible through custom metadata. Probably we want to handle the enterprise plan in a separate PR. So let me not destructure that so we don't get a lint error, and then test.todo, given the user is on an enterprise plan, should show the available data. And then nothing. I think we can do it like this. And then, yeah, we have a reminder here that there's an edge case that we need to handle. Cool. Was there anything else that we needed to do? Oh, yeah. Then what we were about to do, right, was we added all the forms, which we now did. We wrapped like a form around this. And we made all of the buttons submit buttons. And now we can add their intent. So we can say name equals to intent. And then the value equals the customer portal intent, open customer portal intent. Like this. Let me sort this alphabetically. Nice. And we need to add that on every button. We can just do, I don't know. Let's see if it can do that. Add the customer portal intent on every submit button. Let's see if it's smart enough or if it will fail. So far, so good. Nice. 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 And nice. Accept. Save. Good job. Why is it also in default mode? It should go to Claude. Thank you. Is that the right order? No, it's not. Now we can just look up all the different buttons that we changed. This is just a link. It's already sorted. Oh, wait. This is wrong. This should. Oh no, it's right. It's right. It's right. It's right. Cool. Okay. And we already added yesterday for the Stripe helpers right here a method to open the customer billing portal. Let me see. Okay. So this is now something that we want to do when we click a button here. So we go into the Stripe. No, not Stripe admin. We have an action here somewhere. Billing action server. So basically what we just want to do is obviously we want to say, hey, const schema equals to z dot object. No, sorry, z dot discriminated union, yup, intent. And we first of all just have the, we can add a schema here. So new type, billing schemas.ts, export const, open customer portal schema equals to z dot object intent z dot literal open customer portal intent. Nice. And then we use this guy here. Why did I create a new file and stuff for that? That's just convention for this code base. I want to keep it clean. And now we can destructure the request here. And obviously we need to write tests for this guy, which we will do soon. So we can say const body equals to await validate form data request schema. And then we can say switch body.intent case open customer portal intent return const URL equals to await create Stripe customer portal session base URL requested URL. Here we can go params. And we can say params.organization slug. Customer ID will have to be user ID. And then we can say return redirect URL. And save this. So this is approximately what the action is going to look like. So you just click one of these buttons and then it opens the customer portal. So this is not gonna work, I think, because I haven't configured the customer portal. I might need to do that after the stream. Let me just see if there's anything else that we can do here. Let's first see if all the tests are still passing. One test is failing. Which test is that? Multiple row button and name manage plan. Oh yeah, that's because we are like hiding and showing a button. So let's go into the billing page test. So this will not matter for people using screen readers because the hidden class from Tailwind actually sets display to none. But for the reg testing library, it's not smart enough to know that things that are hidden because it's not rendering it correctly, right? So it actually still sees the button. Manage plan. So expect screen.get role, get all by role to have length 2. Want 2 of those buttons. And let's add a comment here. So 1 button for mobile and 1 for desktop. On in a real browser, the button will be hidden using display none. 1 of the 2 buttons will be hidden using display none. And now if people read this test and they're like, why are there 2 buttons? You can be like, I get it. It's always important to leave the code clean and make it easy to read, easy to understand, and so on. Okay, what's the next step? We have all of these here, and I came up with a list of edge cases somewhere yesterday. Where were those edge cases? I left them somewhere. This is all. Lots of comments in this code base, which is good, but I should have marked them as to do or note or something like that. But I'm 100% sure I forgot to do that. So maybe on the just billing page. Nope, obviously not. Would have been too easy. I can look them up. I have them saved somewhere else. What are your go-to AI models for coding? The go-to AI models for coding are definitely AI Studio. Google's AI Studio. I call it AI Studio, but it's Gemini. So you definitely want to check out Gemini. And then for in the cursor, I always use 3.5. And why do you want to use these 2 models? The reason for that is that you want to pick a model that is you want to pick a model that has high attention capacity. So the main problem that models have is that they forget certain constraints and instructions that they received. And actually, OpenAI has gotten, unfortunately, progressively worse. I hope that 4.1 fixes that. They claimed that it's better for coding. But as of right now, the 2 winners are definitely Claude 3.5 and then Gemini 2.5. Hope this answers your question. Let me see the comments. Given an unauthenticated user that does not have an account should give an authenticated user. Okay, so we have marked them with like given. Yeah, okay, they're in the Stripe webhook. Cool. So these are all the edge cases, right? So I want to start out with the edge case that someone is creating an account who doesn't have an account. Do we even need to do anything there? No, right? So in this case, we just create the subscription programmatically when you create an organization anyways. So because this app doesn't support a completely free plan. We just support free trial. So it depends on obviously how you want to implement payment, how you like want to handle all of this stuff. That's something that you have to think about when you create something with Stripe. And once you pick a payment model, it's super trivial. But to be honest, just creating an account from the pricing page is easy. It's only hard if you want to have no free trial. Because if you want to have no free trial, then you need to somehow save the email of the user that they used during sign up, create an account for them under the hood, then let them log in, then connect them to the organization, stuff like that. So it's all pretty hard. But if there's a free trial, then you can just create the subscription behind the scenes when they create an organization, at least in this model, right, where you have a multimodal thing where you have multiple organizations for B2B app, right? So it's always very contextual, like what are you building? But for this template that we're building here, it will be pretty straightforward, pretty trivial. Wait, we have one case where you can only sign up if you have paid. In that case, you can still make it somewhat easier that you first go through the sign up process and then you have to put in the credit card immediately. But the thing is, you usually want to collect the credit card as soon as possible. So usually you want to use a checkout portal, and then just wait for the email. And you need to show something like, hey, use the same email that you used to pay. Yeah. Complicated stuff. Yeah. Anyways, so for this app, it's easy. We just do a free trial, and that's it. Okay. Let's say do nothing, just create the free trial subscription behind the scenes for the organization when you create it. Given an authenticated user with an account who wants to pay for one of the organizations for which they are a member. Yeah, so this should also only be possible, obviously, for the right, like the billing thing should even just be visible if you are a member or not. So we need to capture that in some other Playwright tests. So with billings, Playwright record, let's say billing end-to-end.ts, which would be the billing page. So import test from Playwright, test.describe billing page, and then we can already capture some test cases here. So given the user is a member, should show a forbidden message, or maybe I should have shown a 4. Let's just do 404 for now. And then also, do we have the settings layout somewhere? I think we have organization, general settings layout there. We need to add a test here. Test.fixme. Given, oh no, this is, why is the theme toggle test in the settings layout? Interesting that we did it here. It should be in the organization layout. I think I was a little drowsy. Let me move this. Nice. Given the user is a member, should hide the billing link. Cool. So we marked that case, so we remember it. Yeah, this is a test. Show 404 test.fixme. I can fix it. Cool. So we captured that requirement. Let's just think about more stuff here. Given an unauthenticated user with an account who wants to pay for which they are an admin or owner, yeah, should be possible, obviously, right? And then it's just the normal flow that we're working on here. Given an authenticated user with an account who wants to pay for a new organization for which they are an admin or owner. For new organization. So new organization. Oh yeah, what if we want to have them fill in their credit card immediately? That is just one of the steps. But if you start a free trial, right, then you're not expected to put it in. We want to show like something little nice in the layout, definitely. I don't know if it should be billing or settings layout. Let's do it maybe in the billing end-to-end test. We need test.fixme given the user is an admin or owner, and the organization is on a free trial, should show like, I don't know, how do you call this? Oops. What I'm talking about is I'm talking about this guy. Like a CTA should show a CTA to start paying in the sidebar. Should show a free trial CTA to start paying in the sidebar. Nice. So we got that captured. What else do we need? So if you are on a free trial, it's all good, right? So you can authenticate user who wants to pay for an new organization, which they are an admin or an owner. Absolutely agree. But Cloud 3.7 thinking model works fine too sometimes. But generally 3.5 is the one I rely on more. Yeah, exactly. So the problem with 3.7 is that it's way too chatty. So you want to have a model that doesn't generate so much like random output, right? Because otherwise it will just clutter its own context window. Let's see here. Given an owner with an unauthentic account who wants to pay for a new organization for which they are an admin or owner. I think we handled that. So because if it's a new organization, you will get the free trial, and if you want to pay for one, that like we just do the customer portal flow. Authenticated steps are the same. You need to sign in. Okay, no free trial. Start the free trial. Free trial now. Need to enter CC details. Yeah, we also need to handle the case when the free trial runs out, obviously, but that's permission stuff. We need to add like complete permission things, but you can usually code them on the fly. You just need to be able to enter your CC details even on free trial if you just want to continue using the app paying. You just need to enter CC details even on free trial. Okay, and obviously we need to handle all the usual cases, right? Like upgrade, downgrade. So like stuff like enter CC details, upgrade, downgrade, cancel, and all the good stuff. Yeah, review, manage users. It's all good points. Thank you, AI. Cool. So what do we do next? Do we just start with the creation of the free account? Probably that's the first step. I think the first thing, I mean, we already know what plan they are on, right? So once they are on a free trial, do we need to show this overlay even? Let me think. Because these are the designs that I also showed yesterday for an internal tool that we are working on. There's nothing too crazy. It's just a little sneak peek. This tool's going to come out soon. And by we, I mean my company, React Squad. Check it out if you need senior React developers. Manage plan. Do we want to show this? Probably, right? So if you click on manage plan, like what would be the best flow? Because we usually want to manage as much as we can through the customer portal right here. What if you click update subscription? There was a demo. Then we say update subscription. And then you can pick the different cases here. I don't know if it makes sense to show this overlay again then. This guy. But I mean, if you want to go enterprise, we need the custom contact sales option. So we probably want to show that. So I think the stuff with the forms that I implemented was unnecessary because these buttons should show the overlay with the prices. So this button here, the current plan button, if you have entered your credit card details, it should probably be grayed out and say current plan. But if you still need to add payment information, it should probably just say add payment information. Okay. So we need all of that. So now we can actually add tests for that, and then we can move opening the customer portal to this window that is opening to this modal. So let's code up the contents of this modal, I guess. Yeah. So how do we do that? We first start as always with tests, obviously, but should we test the modal separately? Yeah, we probably should. Okay, let's go into it. Let's go here, billing, modal content dot tsx and billing modal content dot test dot tsx. And by the way, these questions that I'm sorting out with myself, usually if you do this on a job or something like that, you want to obviously sort them out with your boss or your PM or your team at least, with someone. You don't want to make all these willy-nilly decisions by yourself. How are we doing it in the pricing page? Pricing. I think we hard coded the values. The price, yeah. Price. Okay, so we need to do the same here. Do we even have tests for the pricing page? Yeah, we have pricing end to end. Yeah. Yeah, let's test this modal. I was thinking, do we really need this? But probably we do. I'm still thinking things through, but yeah, let's go. So we need export. And then all the booleans that I added yesterday, we don't need. But I mean, I haven't added tests for them anyway, so it's all good. And only two of these buttons need to, no, only one button. Only the manage plan button needs to open this modal. The rest of the buttons can keep doing what they do. So it's all good. Okay. Let's think about this. So only this button right here needs to open the modal. This button redirects as it should. This button should open the customer portal. This button should open the customer portal. Export function billing modal content, return, sure, and let's say export type billing modal content props. So what do we need? We need to know, I mean, we need to identify the different plans here, right? So by the way, why are we doing this overlay? Why are we not redirecting directly to the customer portal? I think the main reason is obviously for the ability to contact sales if you want to go to the enterprise plan, which you cannot do through the customer portal. And the second reason is that all of these benefits cannot be shown properly I18N through the customer portal, because as far as I know, Stripe does not yet support like a features list for the customer portal, let alone their built-in pricing table, I think. So we kind of need to know what plan you're on. And we kind of need to know if it's a downgrade or an upgrade or whatever, which is a problem because we might need to hard code this. So the question is, how flexible do you write this? So the pricing page was written in a very hard coded style. And if you abstract too early, then it's also a problem. So what would be the perfect props here? Let me grab a glass of water so I can think better, and then we think this through. Back. And by the way, I'm not using AI here or AI-driven development for, again, multiple reasons. I want this video to serve as like a guide how you can code with AI-assisted development. And I also want to show, and it's also very hard to use AI if you don't have an approximate understanding of what you want to do. And I think it's been too long since I implemented billing into an app that I want to show it, that I feel confident to do, like, to leave a lot up to the AI basically. Okay, so we need to be able to tell if it's a downgrade or upgrade. So the button, I mean, the lowest tier can only say current plan or downgrade. The highest tier can only say current plan or upgrade. And what if you're on an enterprise plan? Can you even cancel an enterprise plan through this? That's also a good question. Can you cancel an enterprise plan from the open modal UI? Are questions that I'm gonna raise with my team too. But we're first just gonna focus on like the normal plans, and then we're gonna implement enterprise later. So do we want to do that via Booleans? First of all, let me fix the pricing page real quick so it reflects pricing. And then we go into, do we want to do it? Nah, fuck it. It's fine, because here we want to now delete the hobby tier basically, so we only have the startup and the business tier. And then you can start free trials, and then no one cares about the hobby tier. I like this because this is more like customer facing, and then the implementation can be custom for everyone. Back to the main problem. Focus. So we basically have like if you do it with an array, that's obviously the like quote unquote obvious way to do it. But then you're even stuck again with like the abstraction and the edge cases. And then if something's different, like you need to handle it differently. I like the code of the pricing page. It's very clean, very easy to understand. I don't know if going with an array and all this logic is the right thing to do. Still thinking. Evidently so. We could just implement it custom. Because I mean, how many plans does a startup usually have, right? Like 3. So we could have like a type. Okay, let me change it. So how would I want it, the API to be if I was using it? As a developer, I would just want to submit, hey, they're on this type, and then everything looks good. Ooh. And I would also want to tell it if I'm upgrading or downgrading. And by the way, for contact sales, we would also want to say which company contacted sales. So we need to add something to the contact sales into end tests. Test.fixme given an authenticated user who visited the page from their app, and we have to see if we want to do that via cookie or whatever, should add the organization name and ID in the form submission so we can know which customer wants to go enterprise. Something to add for later. Yeah, keeping notes and tests is always super handy because yeah. then you can just fix the test later. So that being said, I think we just need 3 booleans, right? Is switching to mid, is switching to low, is switching to mid, is switching to high. And then we need what they are on. What is the current tier? So current tier, low, mid, high, or enterprise. And then we need is switching to low, boolean, switching to high, and then no, we don't need the switching to enterprise because that can't be done via this. And that's it. I think that's the API. That is the API. Coolio. Let me actually grab all the stuff from the billing page tests. Props should render tab buttons to switch between monthly and yearly. Do you call it yearly? I think so. What does, I always like to look into other people, how they do it. They say yearly. And what about Superbase, for example? They don't have annual. Our own pricing. Maybe we should change this to yearly, to annual. So let's go into pricing. I think annual also sounds more like high quality. Billing JSON. Plan information, free trial, contact sales, pricing, free, monthly. Annual, and now this is broken. And now we go into the pricing page and we say, where is yearly? Yearly, say annual. Reload the pricing page. This is good. Okay. And now we can use AI here. Wrong button. And we can say new window, and we need the billing page and billing page test. I only want you to write the tests for the billing modal. The enterprise button should redirect to the contact sales page as a link. And let me also add the pricing page and the billing JSON. It will contain the pricing chart that's also on the pricing page, but instead of start a 14-day free trial, etc., it will say upgrade downgrade, or current plan. The enterprise button should redirect. Oh yeah, we need. we have the current tiers enterprise. The enterprise button should redirect to the contact sales page as a link. Yes, it should. Then, depending on the booleans, it should show upgrading or downgrading in the respective tier. E.g., if a user is on the mid tier and is switching to low, it's true, the lowest button should show downgrading, etc. Think of all the permutations. Note that the permutation mid and is switching to mid should be impossible. Obviously we could design the types here so that they are really impossible, but I don't know. I don't like TypeScript, to be honest, and I also don't like I don't know. If this was Elm, you could easily do it, so the app is never in a state that it shouldn't be in. But with TypeScript, it's just too hard. It will make the code way too ugly. But that's a design thing from Elm, where they say make impossible states impossible, which you can actually do. Let me think. Oh yeah. We still need the free trial thing. So is on free trial boolean. If the user is on a free trial, and it should say add payment information on their respective tiers button instead. Note, there is no free trial for the enterprise plan. Ooh, what else? Obviously, the tabs should work. We can also, again, use a container query here, by the way, for the styling. Might need to even add that to the general stylings. We will have to see. I love container queries, such a nice feature. Anyways, do we have all the cases now? I do think so. You can upgrade, you can downgrade. Yeah, looks good. No, don't implement the fucking component. Oh, what an idiot. I mean, we can do that from scratch. That's what I also hate about AI. See, it doesn't remember requirements. It's a perfect point of the question that Minimal asked in the beginning of this session, which is that yeah, some AI just doesn't have a good attention capacity and forgets instructions and stuff like that. Now it even, I'm gonna stop that with the pricing stuff. Like it does so much dumb shit. But anyways. Okay, so I want to accept this file. I don't know about that one yet. Definitely don't want to accept that. We're gonna fix that ourselves. Okay. That's good. That's nice. This should be get by role button name, and this guy should be to be disabled. To be disabled. Nice. I don't know about the enterprise button here. No idea. Here we can do two tests at once. So test dot each mid high. We can say current tier mid say as const. Test dot each. This is from low, switching to mid tier. From low tier should show upgrading status. Test given user is so, and these should be, sorry, these should be get by role, button, name, downgrading to be disabled. There's a comma missing here. And this should be expect hero button upgrading to be disabled. Okay, switching to height here should show the upgrading status. So here we can do again as const low, mid, current here, button, all good. Given users on free trial, should show add payment information. It's on free trial. Test.each, low, mid, high, as const. Nice. Okay. I think there's a bunch of permutations that we now have. That's good. The question is, we also need an adding payment information, right? So, when is that happening? I think we should also add a Boolean for that. But let's see here. Like he implemented so much. The get button text function. This could work out. If tier, current tier. I like that implementation actually. We probably need to fix the styling, but it's kind of good. I mean, we already defined all the different components, so it shouldn't be too hard. And he has the example, or it, because it is an AI. Oops. I just like more space. I don't like if code is so clustered. It's just an esoteric thing, I guess. Man, I feel like Bob Ross. I'm just whispering, but it's very hard to narrate what you're doing, actually. That's why I like to record my videos and script them before, because I feel like doing live streams is actually kind of hard when you're like just deeply thinking. I think it's different when you're like a streamer for video games and you're just, screaming and shit. I'm not throwing any shade at any video game streamers. Obviously, they're amazing and talented. I like Virtual. I like Asmongold. But yeah, I feel like, maybe if you're a professional video gamer, it's also very hard to talk. I shouldn't talk shit about stuff that I don't know shit about. Actually. Okay, crazy. This could already be it. No idea if it is, but maybe it is. And yeah, the one thing that's missing is the so test.todo show adding payment information button. Oof, they all failed. Interesting. Let's investigate why they're failing. Hey, developer. No. So it's for some reason exploding. Why is it exploding? Get features.map is not a function. But isn't that also what we did here? Obviously, it forgot the check marks and stuff like that. Yeah, but there's a bunch of stuff that it messes up. Maybe not, we will see. Interesting. Let's actually implement the model and see if it's just a testing setup error, maybe. I can rerun the tests. Maybe I log this out. Console.log. Oops. It's all exploding. Too much stuff for the log output, so we need an only somewhere. Let's do just an only here. Test.only. And now we can hopefully see the logs. Pricings, plans, hobby, features. Interesting. So this, for some reason, doesn't return an array. It just returns the string. But we use the exact same function here, which is weird. So I bet it has something with test configuration. Let's go back into the app. And let's start opening this modal when you manage the plan. So we need the Shatsian UI. Is it like a dialog? I think we need dialog here, yeah. Unless there's anything else. Hover, menu bar, skeleton slider, switch toggle, pagination chart button. Let's do dialog. So we go into billing page. And manage users. And not manage plan, there it is. This should not be a submit button. We need the dialog trigger here. So we probably want to wrap a dialog around all of this. Let's do that. Oh yeah, but we need both of these to actually be the dialog trigger. Can you also programmatically open the dialog? Probably, yeah. So let's go in here, and where do we wrap the dialog? We can wrap it just around this row, right? So description list row. So we do dialog. Like this. Do you still look the same? Thank you. Very much appreciated. Then we go the dialog trigger, which is this guy right here. So dialog trigger. Got that. Dialog trigger. And we need an as child here. As child. And this is not an intent. This has not a value. Nice. And we need the same here, actually. And then goodbye value, goodbye type. Okay, and now we need the dialog content. Dialog content. Did we import it all from the right thing? We did. Let's see what it does. Oof. Okay. This looks bad AF. Bad AF. So I need to make this more wide. Let's inspect this guy. Edit this HTML. Grab all of that HTML, grok. HTML. What classes do I need to give the dialog so it takes up like 90% of the screen width? Let's also look into how ShadCN implemented it. What if we get rid of the content for now? Oops, and just say div hello. What does it look like? Does it become white or no? Okay, so is this related to that it's now inside of the let me do a test page real quick. So I don't know if it is relative to its parent or if it's just generally working that way. Yeah, so relative to some parent thing. God damn it. Okay. So can we lift this up higher? Does it make sense to lift this up higher? So we can do the max width thing here. So we can do dialog content, class name, maxway calc. Change this to 100. -2 RAM. Okay, let's see how this works. Wait, now it's just here. Oh. Interesting. Why was that forced? What's doing it now? Doesn't change. It almost feels like it still has this max width thing. Why is it not expanding? Looks like it has max weight 200 somewhere. Max SM max 3 LG. Where is that coming from? Because it's overwritten from here. And I don't have that anywhere. That seems like a very, very strange bug. Let me reload the app. What if you say SM? Yeah. I have no idea where that comes from. Sometimes life is strange. So the same stuff should happen on the billing page. Then we add back in this guy. this for some reason isn't working. Yeah, the grid stuff wasn't implemented correctly, apparently. Well, we're getting somewhere. I need a quick break. I'll be back soon. This was now 90 minutes. See you soon.